Assalamu alaikum guys. In this video we'll talk about what's new in Laravel 10. As you can see here, Laravel 10 released in February 14th, and the support of Laravel 10 for security will last until February 14, 2025, and bug fixes will last for a year until August 2024. So let's start. The first thing here, if you want to run Laravel 10, the minimum PHP version is 8.1, right? As you can see here, they drop support for PHP 8. So let's start. Here is my PHP version 8.1, and I will say Laravel new discover 10. Also you can use composer, no problem. And here cd discover 10 and PHP artisan about. As you can see here, Laravel version is 10, right? Let's open it code, VS Code, and run our server, artisan serve. Open it here, and now here's some changes in the UI, right? Let's move to the next thing is Laravel parent. It's a package and I will talk about it later. The next thing here is process layer. The process service or class enables you to run CLI processes, and or in other words, it's your terminal. So here let's go to our web to test it, and I will say here, let's comment it, process, it's a facade as you can see, and I will say run this command. For example, if I run this command here, now I am in the root of my project, I will say ls-l, displaying files with permissions as you can see here, and I will say the same thing, ls-l, and let's assign it to a variable cmd or command, and let's see what will happen. Refresh, and nothing. Now as you can see here, we have some functions, and also in the documentation under digging deeper here for process they have a lot of methods, and now let's use these methods at least. So for example, I want to display the output of the command as we can see here in the terminal. So back here, and I will say die and dump this command's output. Back and say again. As you can see, it displays the results for 3 files. The results are different. If you see why, because PHP, as you know, uses this file here, index, inside public, to run the application. So now if we say pwd for displaying the current directory, back and check again, they uses public folder. So I will say back, right, and display the current directory. Refresh, and now they move to discover 10 or our root project. As you can see here, the same, right? So now I will say and ls-l, back and say again. As you can see, the same results as string, right? For example, if I run who am I, like that, who am I, to display the current user or my device name, who am I, it works, right? If you want to run the process in a specific folder in the project, we can say here path method, and for example run it into storage path, right? So let's try. As you can see now, they are in the storage. What if we add a non-existent command? Let's make some errors like that. Refresh, no output. But if you want to learn the error, we can use the method called here error output. So here is the difference. Output displays the output of successful command, and error output displays the output of the error. So let's try and see. As you can see here, this command not found. What if, for example, we run PHP artisan, no commands called PHP, maybe for some security reasons, but also you can run some scripts like shell scripts and so on. If you want to learn more about it, you can see it inside the documentation. It's very good actually. So let's move to the next feature. It's native type declarations. What does it mean? They added type declarations to methods and arguments and returns types also. So if I open an old project, PHP artisan about, this old project is Laravel 9, and if I open it code here, as you can see, for example, this class uses documentation for specifying return types and so on, right? But what if we try to create a form request, for example, or any class? Back and see here for Laravel 10, I will say PHP artisan make request update request as an example. Back to our code, discover 10, and here update request. As you can see, now this use return type as an example, boolean, and here rules also return array, and here some declarations. Array may be a string or a rule. For example, if we go to kernel class for consoles, now it's specified schedule class and also returned void. If we back to Laravel 9, kernel is specified also, but return type here in the comment documentation, but not exists here. Let's back and see next feature is invokable validation rule for custom rules. So if we back here to the old Laravel 9, and I will say PHP artisan make rule difference, and if I open it, difference, as you can see, it's implements rule class, right? Instance of rule class. But to make it invocable, we can say, let's remove it first. Here, difference hyphen hyphen invocable. Back and say again, difference. And now it's instance of invocable, and here our invoke method. Now by default in Laravel 10, it's invocable directly. So back and see here, Laravel 10, artisan make rule def, and see here def, sorry, in Laravel 10. Now it's directly invocable with here parameters, string, mixed, and closure, right? If we back to Laravel 9 here, no types defined here. Here is different string, Laravel 10, mixed, and closure, and no types there. They are defined it inside the document, right? And also in the Laravel 10, it's directly invocable. The next feature here is profile option for tests. So if I run tests here using PHP artisan test, it returns success. Let's remove die and dump from our web here. It works correctly. But what if, for example, if we open example test, anyone was in for feature, and I will define a new test. I will say here test slow and sleep for 2 seconds, then assert true, run again, takes some time until success. And to check which one or which method are slow, we can say here hyphen hyphen profile. This added in Laravel 10. Now run again, and as you can see here, the example test class inside slow method, this one test slow here, takes 2 seconds, and as you can see, this color is red, and other tests runs so fast. So here is the new profile flag. Back and continue. New string password helper for generating passwords. So if I open tinker here, PHP artisan tinker, and I will say str password. It generates random password, as you can see. Also, there are some deprecations from Laravel 9, like handle deprecation method, assert time sent for test, and also schedule list commands, and also route home method removed, and dispatch now for queues removed also. Here is quickly and briefly what's new in Laravel 10. If you found it useful, support me by clicking on like, share, and subscribe. See you in next videos.